Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Marvel Snapcast. This is episode 19. I am Ken here with our other hosts, Valentine and Loot Muncher. How you guys doing?
Howdy.
Doing good.
Fantastic. Val is still the best mustache in Snap, and
For
Loot
now.
is still the advocate of Arrow. Now, we have a bunch of things to talk about. The new ranking system, the new season, of course, the new cards coming up, and a lot more stuff to talk about. But first, let's dive into the new season, of course, which is the Days of Future Past. How you guys liking this season so far?
Theme wise, loving it. I've always been a fan of this storyline in general. I think it's great in the comics. It was fun in the X-Men cartoon, even though they did it in like the first season, which was wild. They didn't even build up to this or anything. You could tell they didn't know they were going to get another season. But like in general, like I love this theme. I was so happy they went here, and Nimrod was a good choice. I think this is an excellent card to pair with this season. So well done.
Fantastic, Loot. How do you feel about the season so far?
Exact same thing. What Val was saying. I love this theme. I love the X-Men theme. I think the secret little codes they've been putting out on Twitter and binary has been really funny.
Almost all say warning.
Yes. But yeah, I think Nimrod's a great card too, especially for all of the effect. I do think it's thematic, and I do think of the cards, because I've thought about that in the other seasons past. If a certain card could be the season pass card and then one of the cards that come out later, but I think Nimrod being the actual season pass card is actually fantastic and great choice.
I totally agree. I think Nimrod is a great card. The fact that it can be, once it's destroyed, it copies it to the other location. I know first night, I'm sure we did a bunch of testing and a bunch of cool videos of cool things happen with Nimrod. I think Nimrod is an amazing card, and I am happy that it's part of the Battle Pass. Do we think Nimrod can help fix this meta we're seeing so far in the season?
No, because he has an ability, and if that ability goes away, he's pretty fucking useless.
Oh man! All right, so
Yeah,
we're getting to that.
Unfortunately, I do think Nimrod will be in a great spot once balance changes come.
Yes,
But
Right.
I think it puts destruction in a healthy place. I think
Agreed.
it's not too much for Null dropping down. Like I do still have this fear that Null gets a little too rampant as he is acquired by more people in series 4, and I think there's a potential nerf that comes to him. But I think in general he doesn't generate too much power on that spectrum, so he's not like a bad card in that way. He also doesn't put that much power on the board. Like in certain situations, you can fill locations with like 80 plus power, and like it's very situational. It depends on locations. It feels like you like work your ass off to get there. I don't think it's a play and win card. I think it's just a nice new tool for destruction.
And I've seen a variety of decks. So, I've seen the Galactus decks. I've seen, Ken, I was on your stream when Nimrod dropped. I saw the Shiri Destroyer, Long, like all that stuff. Like, can definitely get crazy. I seen a list from Howling Minds from Marvel Snap Zone. I really like his. I haven't got to play it too much, but I watched his video. The Sarah list, like it's like Sarah Miracle, where basically you're playing like Nimrod on 6 and then a destruction card with it, because you're reducing it so you can play it for 4 and play like a Venom or Carnage.
Nice. That's pretty cool. Okay. I didn't see that, so that's awesome.
I had Pigpen shouted me out for the Puffy Jacket deck, and he basically made a Puffy Jacket Galactus deck with Nimrod, and it's like all of my favorite things shoved into one stupid meme deck. Like this card is so much fun. I really like it, and I'm glad it's not just broken off the bat.
Agreed. I don't think it's something to climb with. I mean, you could, but I think it's definitely just fun. Yeah,
I think he's a slot in the deck. He's not the crutch of the deck.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree with that. Awesome variants. Got all 3 of them already. The Wolverine variant is phenomenal.
Yes.
And
that rain falls, right?
Yeah. 100% it falls. I even got it. I even split it already. So even with the rainbow looking background, it looks awesome.
Oh,
I want to get it gold before the night's up for sure. The Sentinel, I slept on that Sentinel variant. It's pretty good too. It's awesome background, awesome animation, and of course Dan Hip's Nimrod is the eyes and stuff glow. That is phenomenal as well. The card backs in the season pass so far is pretty cool. You have the X-Men one, the red one, and then you have of course the Sentinel, which is phenomenal. The avatars, I am definitely rocking the Sentinel avatar right now, so that's the cool part about that.
No, not the Dan Hip Nimrod that just like a baboon face. Like
not yet. I'm rocking the Sentinel one. That's pretty good. So that's how we're doing it. Then of course we have brand new cards. The first one coming up will be Master Mode. How do you guys feel about this card?
Ronin stonks going up, baby. It's, it's gonna be clog in a whole new way, right? We're gonna be clogging hands rather than clogging the board.
Yeah, I think it's a very unique effect. I've seen some people being like, you basically kind of blink 2 spots in their hand. Like, obviously they get Sentinels, but they play the Sentinels, they get more Sentinels. So it can really cause a problem if your opponent is trying to do certain things and they can't either draw the cards or have room to do stuff in their hands. I think it's a unique effect we haven't seen yet, and I'm excited to see it in action.
Yeah, it's going to be messy, I think, for opponents to run across, but barring like things like bounce, I don't think it'll get too bad, because it doesn't generate itself again, right? It's not a Sentinel in that sense. So like it's only 2, but if we're beasting that and we're getting 2 more again, it could be pretty dangerous. But we'll see how that goes.
We could definitely put it on Wong, and then probably even
that's true.
Odin it, right? And get
it almost feels like maybe it's a little cheap cost wise, but we'll have to see it in action.
Well, I'm going to be interested to see how it interacts with the meta too, because Quinjet will make, if you're running a Thanos list with Quinjet, so your Sentinels are going to be less, and then if you are running the destroy list, if you have Carnages or Venoms that you can play the Sentinels and then eat them, like you free up room that way.
Right.
So there's definitely options, or if you have a Cosmos, you can play your Sentinels into it so they don't refill your hand.
But this is for your opponent, though. It's not even for you.
No, but that's what I'm talking about, playing around it.
Yeah, playing around it. You got to have these ideas. Like I think each archetype has a way to deal with it. Right. So if you discard, you hopefully have your Morbius down, so you can discard the Sentinels and feed your Morbius, while maybe also like playing one and you discard at the same time, so you constantly have fodder for your discard or something like that. I think there's certain archetype, like move and stuff is going to get real hairy. Like this, if you're playing a move deck, you're already kind of, you're playing a move deck to begin with. And then if a Sentinel gets in the way on top of that, 2 Sentinels, you're not happy.
I guess the Darkhawks and the Ronins are going to enjoy this Master Mode card.
Yes, for sure.
Then we have the longest name in Marvel Snap, Negasonic Teenage Warhead. That card is going to be phenomenal, I believe. Probably the best of the 3. Maybe. I'm going to say the best of the 3. Definitely, after any card is played here, destroy this card and that card. So it being a 3/4 is pretty cool, especially if you want to protect any of your other cards, right? You can drop down a big red skull, right? And then drop this right next to it. So nobody's going to drop anything else. No Shang-Chi's are coming. Oh, wait, I'm wrong. Forgive that. More so protected against the Cosmos, right? So if you have a card that's there, you don't want to worry about Cosmo coming down. You can have this here to protect you, because if they put Cosmo down there, Cosmo will get destroyed, I assume, right? Is that the correct thing to think? It will get destroyed.
Yeah, because it's not. It's just a trigger card.
Right. So then, perfect. So I mean, that's what I think this card is more is made for, is to protect your other cards by putting it down next to something and know that your opponent won't play there because they don't want their card to be destroyed.
Right.
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest things that I'm seeing with this card is I like how the kind of the flow that they've been. Like Shuri and Red Skull can feel too strong sometimes, and I know people are calling for nerfs. People love calling for nerfs, but I think this is actually will help solve that situation, because you're talking about protecting like a card. So this protects a lane. If you don't want them to put a 30 power Red Skull into the lane. You put this card there, and they're not going to play that. If they Shiri and you this into that lane, they're not going to play the Red Skull or follow up a Taskmaster into another lane. Like, you can definitely guard a lane with it and make sure they're not playing something like that into that lane.
Right.
But I am intrigued to know, will Shang-Chi proc first or will it get destroyed first?
I think everything will proc. And then everything will get destroyed because it says after. So I think, and with the text there, after blank is played here, when a card is played, it resolves and then it is played.
Okay.
Any on reveals should happen.
Yeah.
And of course, I would say probably now the best card is last, which will be Katie Pride. You can return this to your hand and gain +2 power. I know me and Luke spoke about this. Val, what's your take on this card?
So I meant to include one other thing. We have some dev updates coming up, and I meant to include something about this, and I forgot to find it. Now, Drew Berry asked what I thought was a silly question on Twitter, where if you return Kitty Pryde to your hand in the same turn that you play her, does she gain +2? Now, to me, that's a ridiculous question. That is exactly how this fucking card works.
Yes.
You can put Kitty Pryde down, return her to your hand in the same turn, and she will gain +2 power. Now, what will happen in that, I'm assuming here, is that the opponent will see you play Kitty Pryde and will see it return to your hand. So the only way to undo this, you actually have to hit the energy button to return everything back to the start. So it's almost like the way that you could like pick a card back up, but it's just actually being played and returned to your hand. It's wild.
So the question around that is, and I don't know if Drew meant it that way, maybe he did, but what if you Beast or Falcon this card? Does it get that same +2 power?
No, because you have to literally return it to your hand, right? You can return this to your hand to gain +2 power. I don't think that picking it back up with another card is activating its ability, right? Because you're not triggering it's the actual act of picking it up and dragging it back that's activating that ability. However, if you Beast this card and you make it a 0 cost card, then it doesn't cost that 1 power to continue to do that, and that's huge.
That is. So I just know we never seen anything like this yet, right?
No.
This is going to be a great thing to see how it interacts with the game. Putting a card down, do you tap on the card and like hit activate like in Yu-Gi-Oh? Like I want to know what the interaction
I think it's literally just like if you were to put a card out and then bring it back to your hand, as long as it touches the board first.
Really?
Because it is in that dev answer that I meant to find, they say that the only way to return it to the hand is to actually hit the energy button and undo the play.
Wow.
Yeah. So once you return it to the hand, you won't be able to put it back on the board.
Okay, well that makes sense. Okay, now that I can actually see that. Okay, Luke, what's your take on this card?
Just 2 notes on this card. So they did say that this blog post was a little outdated. So she is a 1-0, not a 1-2. So that's an important thing to note.
Wow.
She is a 1-0. So that's important. And then also another thing, I think his name's like Raga or something. It's like Raga. He's one of the, or maybe it's Rada, maybe it's Rada.
I think it's Rada.
But he's on Twitter. He's one of the devs, and he's been answering questions. He answered a lot of questions about King before King came out on Twitter and stuff. And so something that I've noticed. Too. Yeah. And so something that I've noticed is, or they said that it does, Kitty Pryde doesn't proc collector. So that's another thing to just keep in mind.
Because it did start in your deck.
Yes, and it should proc with it coming down and then returning back. It should proc your Angelas and Bishops and stuff. So.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That definitely makes sense. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. I mean, 1-0 now. I mean, I think it should probably stay at a 2 because now if you're using that 1 power every turn, that 1 cost every turn, this card is going to be at best.
It's a 6-10.
Yeah.
If you do the math, if you do it every turn, it's a 6-10, which is not bad, especially if you're triggering Angelas and bishops and
right. You can use it in conjunction with Bishop and Angela, which is wild. So that's
and you don't get the +2 power for the beast trick. But we've talked about this before with a Deadpool trick. If you play Kitty Pryde and then play Beast and return your hand, it's a 0 energy forever.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
that's
then you can just play it out for free every turn and return it and just keep going.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about
it. You
it.
do miss one trigger, though. So if you do Beast it, it's going to be a 0-8 instead of a 1-10. Yeah. But that's a 0-8 is not anything to go at, you know?
Yeah, especially if you're triggering Angela and Bishop and stuff. So.
Right.
This is gonna be fun, and we can't wait to see this card come out. And of course, it's coming out at the end of the month, which it is what it is. I would have hoped it came first, right?
Well, see, I'm actually okay with that because hopefully they'll have the fix in where you'll see the new card in your shop guaranteed. The fix coming?
Not by then.
Yes. Yeah.
I said hope. Hope.
Yeah. You can hope, but they said it doesn't hit until next season.
Next season? Yeah.
Next season? Oh, okay. I thought they said next patch or next 2 patch or something.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. So we have brand new locations. 3 of them. Mostly we had 4. They went a little bit less this time with 3. Yet to see any of these locations. It looks like they started off with Never Delay, right? That was the first one we saw so far with the new season. But they did do the whole 24 hours, and it's also a 50% chance versus the different stats before, 48 hours and a higher percent chance to see the location. None of the new locations are out yet. All these locations seems to be fun, except this one. Because it's basically Ego on turn 5. I'm intrigued.
It used to be turn 6.
Yeah, I'm much happier with turn 5 than turn 6.
Me too. Interesting though. I'm definitely walking with Scarlet Witch or Storm when this location comes out.
I'll let everyone else do that for me.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That's a good thing. Because wow. I mean, I would like to see what happens. I want to see the interaction. Of course, you want to see the visual effects, but yeah, that's very interesting that this is what it does. Nonetheless, we have this here, which also now goes back to what Luke was saying, playing around and Sentinel on your hand, running the Quinjet and everything else. So this might be interesting to see when that comes out. And of course, Asteroid M. After you play here, you get a 3 or 4 cards in your hand and move it here. Interesting. So it pulls that from your hand and put it on this location.
So what it is after you play a 3 or 4 cost, you move it there.
Move it there. Yeah. All right. So that's not bad either. Interesting. And I'm
surprised we're not seeing Mother Mold this season.
It's the first one, the second one, that was the effect. They just changed the name.
Oh yeah.
Okay. You know what? Honestly, good. Because I cannot remember whether Master Mold or Mother Mold, like which one is which.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that had something to do with it.
Yeah,
the Master Mold, Mother Mold.
Yeah. So Orchis Forge is okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Exactly it. Yeah.
Especially now that I look at it and see that it is Mother Mold.
Mother Mold. Yeah. So. And then of course we have my favorite part of the new season, the brand new variants.
Jim Lee. Oh my God.
Every last one. I will buy them all. I stop playing. I don't know what they're waiting for. I still want the Momoko Invisible Woman. I don't know why I haven't seen that yet. I'm very upset about that. But
I think that's after this Mystique bundle ends. I think it's
one
Momoko
bundle
into the next Momoko.
It's a bundle. It's not a
it's pretty sure it's a bundle.
That means it happens tonight, right? All right, can't wait.
I think so.
Cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen.
I could be wrong. Watch me be wrong.
Watch out on Twitter. If he's wrong, I'm definitely going to tweet. Where's my Momoko Invisible Woman? This Nimrod tip variant looks sick.
Yeah,
this variant looks amazing.
That's Kim, right? Yeah, that's Kim.
This and that's ultimate, right?
Yes.
Oh, it is an ultimate. Oh, and the Jim, the Kalangu. Oh man, damn it! These are all so good.
They are amazing, but they are ultimates. Listen, I have tokens.
I don't have tokens.
I don't know if Nimrod is that great for me to do that, but give me the Sherry Black Panther. I told you guys, I'll spend that money. So these are all supposed to be in the game as of right now, or throughout the season.
I think they're going to add them week to week, if I had to guess.
Okay.
In the details, it just says March brings them. It doesn't say when in March. It just says March.
Yeah,
So.
none of these. I don't think any of these were part of bundles.
Okay, because as I understand it, rares are the 700 goals.
Yeah.
And super rares. Okay. Every time that I stopped opening my mystery variants because they're still coming up as gold. So to me, I assume that these rares are not in the game yet.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll wait till somebody gets them in.
Boy, if only that was properly communicated, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Steampunk Variant Rush, everybody thought was going to come in the beginning of the season, of course, but it's starting from the 21st of March all the way to April 4th. I've been saving up my caches already. I don't want to open any of them until the 21st. I want every last one of these, but the best looking one, I think, is the Yellow Jacket one. What's your guys' take? Not happy with these variants, huh?
Dude, I'm so sick of steampunk crap. I've been sick of steampunk since Wild Wild West came out. Like,
wow.
The Yellow Jacket's kind of cool. The Cerebro's all right. The Shocker's
I like the Bishop because it looks like he's holding a Borderlands sniper rifle.
Like, I'd be happy to open any of these. Let me put it that way. I'm happy to open any of these. I will not go out of my way to get them.
Wow. Okay. That's how Val feels about these variants. And listen, I understand that. I totally get it.
Okay, I do want the Simpsons the goggles do nothing title.
Goggles do nothing. Yeah, I want that title.
Yeah. That is pretty good. So yeah, we have some titles. Titles, and we have these variants. Steampunk. Okay, totally fine. But yeah, I definitely love that Yellow Jacket. The Bishop one is cool. Cerebro, yep, I agree. Shocker, okay. Falcon looks great as well. But yeah, definitely a Yellow Jacket.
Yellow Jacket looks cool.
Yeah. And then we have bundles that are post-apocalyptic. So we have Mr. Sinister and this Bishop. Both look cool. I hope the Sinister's doppelganger or split also gets the variant love while being played on the field.
Nope.
No, I know
you'll get your token and you'll like it.
Wow. I did see some things that Mysterio change. But
the Mysterio is the illusions are the variant until they reveal. Once they reveal, they're no longer the variant. Yeah.
Wow. But Mr. Sinister doesn't get any love. Okay.
Nope.
So these bundles will be here, and these will be the cost of it. 4,000 gold. Is this bundle worth it? For the tokens, yes, 100% they are.
That's a lot of tokens.
Yeah. So I think it's worth it.
But Token Tuesdays are here too, so like just focus on the Token Tuesdays if you don't like these variants. And you'll have enough.
I really like this angel art. Like this angel art.
It's Jim Lee, baby. You don't. All three of these are a beautiful Jim Lee cards. Oh my god.
That angel might make me pull the trigger on this. This one doesn't come with the tokens, so
actually,
I thought about not getting it.
Archangel.
That's Archangel, actually. It's not
Well,
Angel.
It still says Angel on the card.
It's Archangel, though.
So
Come on.
I'm reading.
This is supposed to be Archangel. I don't know. They need to fix that ASAP.
Archangel. When you destroy Angel, he goes back into your deck. And
And it still remains the same. Archangel. That was from Apocalypse. Yeah, my goodness.
He's
cartoon
one of the horsemen.
Yes. Days of Future Past makes sense. Pretty good.
Rips his wings off and then gives him
this is awesome.
Wings.
All of these variants are sick. Can't wait for this bundle. Yeah, this one might not be worth the goal, but of course, if you're saving your goal, why not get it? But of course, for these variants alone, I think it's worth it. And for the tokens alone, here I think is worth it. But you also get some cool looking variants as well. And that brings us to the end of this season and what we should expect to see. Cannot wait to get these other cards as well as the variants. And now we go on to the best part of this episode, which is discussing the new season the new ranking system, which I think is something that we all want to talk about and discuss. And I'm going to start off with my take first on it, right? I think the new ranking system is very intriguing. On one side of it, to give people an extra 5 ranks after getting to that tier, does it help them get to infinite quicker? I don't know. Depends on the player and depends on the MMR, right? Which I think if the MMR is resolved, then I think we won't have to worry about that too much. We've seen some of the people who have the best MMR in the game get to infinite in an hour. And then we see the people that are trying to get to infinite still get stuck regardless of those extra 5 ranks. So I think it's definitely in between. I think this was created to kind of help with the matchmaking, but I don't think it really solved the problem. I am happy for those who never got to infinite, because now this season they definitely have a chance to do so. Luke, what is your take on how you feel about the new ranking system? Sorry, Luke. I know you don't want us to hear you. I totally get
it. Sorry about that. Yeah, that's some background noise. But yeah, so I think it's interesting. We obviously know they've said that there's more changes coming. We were supposed to get a blog post about that, but that's got kicked. So it's going to be interesting. But the thing that to me is this a stopgap? Is this something that they're going to revert with the next season or something like that till they get more changes in? Because this to me isn't matchmaking like changes or anything. This is to help people kind of get through the season a little faster. It would seem, because you're basically cutting the number of cubes that you have to earn in half if you're climbing from 70 to 100. If you started at infinite or stopped at infinite last season. So I still don't think that really helps people's problems, people that have never gotten out of 40s or 50s or 60s or anything. So I'll just be interested if they stick with this, if this is just a thing that they're doing for this season, and then their long-term plans, they're going to do something else, and this doesn't fit with that. They haven't said. So I think that's the interesting. I think it will help some people this season. Some people will still feel like it won't do anything for them. I'll still be more interested in what they actually do as a plan to fix matchmaking, because that's definitely one of the biggest problems in the game. Something they definitely need to take a look at and probably rework quite more than what this is.
So none of us here are infinite yet, I assume.
Nope.
Okay, interesting. All right. Well, all right, fantastic. So yeah. So Val, what is your take on this awesome ranking system?
It's this feels useless, and I don't want to call it tedious. It feels, if when a teacher gives you homework, but you can tell that it means nothing and it's like busy work, and it's just to make sure that you don't ask questions. Like that's kind of what this feels like in a way. It's like, okay, we hear you. It's really hard to get to infinite. So we're going to help you by giving you 5 more ranks. We're going to give you 50 more cubes. Notice that they didn't say 5 ranks. That the wording was, we're going to infuse 50 cubes into your rank. Like, let's use the bigger number so that it sounds better. Bigger number, better. That's how Marvel Snap players think, right? So it's a better way to communicate it. As far as the feeling that you get from it is, we're going to give you 50 cubes. And the problem there is that that's taking over the job that bots have, right? So bots are in this game, like them or not, to inject cubes into the ecosystem, into the cube currency market, to keep people moving, to keep people from falling stagnant at one spot. So is this a way for Second Dinner to kind of start cutting the cable on bots? Like, I still see some. I feel like there might be less this season, but I also don't really think they can make that change. So I personally feel like I'm spinning my wheels more. And it might be because there's less bots. I can't say that for sure. That could be confirmation bias. But like in general, I think if this is preluding a change of removing bots, but not actually fixing anything else that is actually the problem in matchmaking, then we have a big nothing burger of, here's some cubes. Are you happy? So I don't like this as a fix. I truly hope that this gets people to infinite faster. 100%. Right. If this pushes you up to infinite faster, hell yeah, get it. Get your rewards and have fun with the game. But this just continues to highlight the problem that is, and I'm quoting for the audio listener, matchmaking
Right.
And competitive play, because that's not what this is. This should be like the ladder that we have right now should be a seasonal activity in the game. You play through it, you collect rewards for collecting cubes, and if you want to start the ladder over, you can do that, and then get like if you've played Call of Duty before, right? Your prestige, you start over. You get new rewards for each 10 rank. I've said this before that I think after 100, where's the incentive to keep climbing? There's absolutely none. Right. So every 10 levels, you should have some sort of reward. Just throw more collector's reserves at us. Same exact percentages, same chance to get everything, all the same rewards. You lose nothing by doing this. And if somebody wild and crazy what was the Code Deco? Somebody that gets way the fuck up there, or somebody who was the dude that was botting that got to the end of CL? I don't remember. Is it Aaron?
Is it Aaron?
Yeah, it was Aaron. Those people still have an opportunity to get more rewards. Don't lock them out completely. He still needs his variant gold. There are fixes to this, but the number one fix is you need to give us a new matchmaking mode. 100%. This is not competitive play. This game dies if this is all you have.
That is fair. I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I think matchmaking needs to be U-hauled, because clearly people are playing each other that they shouldn't be playing. And
was
again,
it level 70 UC Infinite?
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
It might be 60. I might have that wrong.
Less than that.
It's either 60 or 70.
Yeah, definitely. And that's not right. I think I think rank and collection level should always be the key to people playing each other. 100%. Start with collection level, then rank, and then go from there.
And we need to see that stuff.
Yeah. Of course.
If you don't show us stats, but you give us a competitive mode, then where's the actual feel good about who you beat and who you're getting matched up against? I understand the idea of hiding that, but I'm already sick of we hide data because it ruins the game, which is now a prevailing thing from some devs. I don't think I like that at all.
Yeah, I think at this point in the world, hiding data does not ruin anything, right? No. It just shows the truth. It helps fix problems. I think metrics is always the best way to measure things. So for them to say that is kind of crazy. It's kind of scary to me to hear that. I haven't played you in a while, Val. Honestly, right? We matched that one time.
Time at the end of last season.
Right? And it's what's going on? I don't see anybody that I know. I don't matchmake with anyone I know, and we're always infinite. Our collection levels are always in the same area, but I haven't matchmade with you guys in a long time, and to me that's weird.
We haven't had any matchmaking changes that we're aware of, right?
No.
But in that regard, where would we even find that out?
Exactly why I said it.
Yeah,
exactly why I said it. But Luke, go ahead.
I just think this is a stopgap. I think this is what they could do with their hot fix. I'm taking one from Val. I'm quoting audio listeners. I think this is with their hot fix technology. I think this is what they could do without a patch. And this does just feel like a stopgap. And I haven't seen anyone really call for it. I've seen some people suggest changes to matchmaking, how to fix it, whatever. But I think they should have done this at launch. MMR needs to be reset. What it is now from beta, from the players that had beta stuff. And that's going to help you with these people, KM Best and all these guys that are just John Connoring it, just destroying these bots every season. They are just farming these bots. If you reset their MMR, they're going to play against real players again, and then maybe not get out to that giant leap in MMR that they've gotten from just beating bots over and over and over and over again every season. So I think MMR reset needs to happen. I don't know if they're trying to get away from that. I've never heard them say anything about that's a possibility or that's never going to happen. I haven't heard them talk about that at all. And I try to keep my ear low to the ground on any kind of information with changes and stuff. But I think that needs to happen. And I've seen some people say that should happen every season. I don't know about that. But it's definitely something that just needs the hard set happen at least once to reset all those people that are just playing against bots and nothing but bots every season.
I 100% agree with that. I think there's some pretty easy fixes on that. And to your point of reset every season, I think once we go competitive, new real competitive mode, we just start fresh. Like you have a new MMR that you have to start with there. And then I think we look at seasons in competitive separately from seasons in game, right? We call them quarters, and we go for a reset every 4 months, every 3 months, something like that, right? I guess every 4 months if we're looking at it quarterly. And like it's a fresh start based on where you land, you get certain rewards or something like that, or you get a boost next season. But like, yeah, there needs to be some sort of fresh, like power wash simulator the hell out of this, man. We need to get this cleaned up. That's ridiculous that we have 6 months worth of data on our MMR. That might be why we don't see anyone. That makes perfect sense. I don't know why I didn't even think about that.
Yes, correct.
That's gross.
That's the scary part about it. Very scary. But I totally agree. Everything you said too as well, Lou. I hope that they are listening and they make these changes, or they're working on it in the background, right? We're waiting for a blog. I thought they were going to discuss this.
We were told last Friday. From Steven at 4:50 a.m. Dude, go get some sleep. We're not happy with the current state of ranked. We have a change going live with the start of ranked. That's this 50 cubes that we're talking about. We have a blog on ranked mode improvements coming out Monday.
Was it this Monday?
It's Wednesday. And yeah, they kicked it. Was it a few weeks out?
I think it's going to be with the next patch. Yeah, like because we're due for a patch in the next week or two. So I'm assuming it's going to come with the patch.
But they're like, okay, to harbor on this for a little bit, maybe. The consistency in miscommunication is a little ridiculous at this point. You're almost trusting your players too much to go find the data that you want to give them, but you also don't want to tell them anything at the same time. And it's so weird to me to have this dichotomy in a live service game that you have millions of people playing. You need one person in charge of communicating with your player base, and you need to start going through that one person and making sure that everything is fact checked, that you're giving dates that are accurate, that you're following up on things that are incorrect and correcting them. Like this is a community management job. And like, I understand that the community manager right now is more media focused, but like they need a second person on that team that is data and like announcement focused, and they need to be consistent. And they need to train their staff on how to communicate with the player base through that person and get their stuff off of their social media out of just the Discord. Even if this person like grabs things from the Discord and throws them up on Twitter, and there's a consistent feed of this information on Twitter, which they've kind of started to do, right? Like the hotfix stuff, they did grab and they threw on their Twitter, and it's like, the hot location stuff. So like they're doing this a little bit, but it just needs more consistency. And it would go such a long way in good faith if the player base had one place that was easy for them to go to, that wasn't digging through answers on a Discord that might just like disappear after a day, you know?
I totally agree, but I think we do have one place. I think Broad, right?
Broad.
He comes listen I'm in my Discord, Kawa's Discord, your Discord.
Yeah, getting a Discord, getting a Marvel Snap streamers Discord, because this dude is like,
he's killing it. He's just
he literally has like 5 streams open at any given time and is like helping us all out with all of this information.
Yes,
like, shout out to you, dude. We really do appreciate your help in the community.
100%. Because
I just wish we all knew how to say your name.
Yeah, I know. I just called him B the whole time. So in the tournament, I just called him.
If you guys don't know Broud, you have seen him. Braude 1.
Yes.
He's Israeli, so we don't speak that language. We don't know how to say his name properly. Drag us for it. That's fine. We deserve it. But this dude kills it. Thank you.
Yes. Every Discord in clockwork too. He'll start from 1 to the. I love it. I get all my information from him. So there you go. You guys want to hire him second dinner and make it happen.
Yeah, there you go. There's your media, dude.
There you go for sure. And then of course we have what we really want to talk about and really want to dive into is this current meta. It's just okay. Listen, A couple months ago, I would have told you. I would have told you, Leech is fine. Leave Leech alone. Leech is awesome. What is wrong with everybody?
I'm sorry.
And
what?
Yeah, a couple months ago, I was on that like Leech.
Luke, do you remember a couple months ago when we said leave Leader alone and Leech is the problem?
Yeah, and I went.
Sorry,
reverse.
go ahead, Ken.
No, I said no. I was in reverse because I think Leech is fine, but no. Now I agree with you guys. I think Leech is horrible. I think Leech needs to be reworked big time, real quick. Should they destroy him like they did Leader?
Nah,
maybe not. But something right now. I think it has to be done right now. I think at 10 p.m. refresh, Leech should either be removed from all games or be reworked because it is not fun at all, especially with Nimrod. This brand new card that we're all having a blast with is like a breath of fresh air playing with this card. And on turn 4, when you get Leech, it's like, yeah, I don't. What am I? I'm done. I'm not playing anymore. I'm you know what I mean? It needs to happen, guys. We need to do something to him. Like everybody's been saying, the Nakia treatment, the next card you play, or they just turned off for that one turn. Something has to happen in those regards, and I'll be totally happy with it. And Leech can be the way he is. Of course, I'm hearing the same thing for Shuri. I don't think Shuri needs to be touched at all. I'm sorry. I know a lot of people don't have Shuri, and I do have Shuri. I don't think Shuri needs to be touched. I think Shuri's fine. There's many ways to stop the Shuri. I think it's okay. And Arrow, people are still harping on this nerf Arrow. I mean, Arrow's been through so much already. What's the point? So yeah, you guys, what's your take on this wonderful man? I know you guys have been playing. I hopped into Val's stream. I enjoy to see Val's non-frustration when he gets leeched because he loved Leech so much. What's your take?
I think I saw. I tried to count, but the anger made that difficult. I want to say that I saw upwards to 7 leeches within the span of an hour, 7 leech games within the span of an hour, including a 25-minute rant about Twitter posts. So like wow. In the middle of that hour, I went on a rant about Twitter posts and came back and immediately was met with leeches again. It's just like, I did see a meme of like a dude driving a car. He checks, like it's like a 4-picture meme. He checks the deck count. He sees 14 cards. He puts the car in reverse and he just fucking gets out of it. Like, that there's like a 75%, if not higher chance that fucking deck is running leech. And if he doesn't get played on 5, there's a really good chance that he pops out early in a lockjaw. And it's just, I personally, Nakia treatment, first 2 cards in the hand or 2 random cards, I don't care, either one. I've said it time and time again. If I like, okay, I'm running my Nimrod deck today, right? If I have Destroyer and Galactus, my 2 destruction cards in that deck, sitting at the front of my hand, and I get leeched on 5 and I'm screwed. You know what? You got me.
Right.
I'm not angry. I knew where those cards were placed in my hand. Right. I knew the risk I was running by having them where they were and playing cards in such a way that that's where they ended up. And like, if that's something I need to keep in the back of my mind to avoid a leech, I'm totally okay with that. I think leech does serve a purpose in certain situations. You know, calling him a safety valve card, I kind of get what you're getting at there, but I don't think there's enough cards that he really is stopping in particular. But when he hits everything in your hand, upwards to 7 cards, it's too much. It's absolutely too much.
I think if they do the Nakia treatment, then the card that we love the most will be at the top of the list, being the most played that season. You know what card that is, guys?
Cosmo.
Crystal. Because now you will shuffle your hand so that those 2 cards on the left does not get leeched. Come on. It's just rocket science. Guys, make it happen. If you guys give Leech the Nakia treatment,
you just fixed Crystal by Crystal by fixing Leech.
Come on.
Make him a 3/4.
Yes. There you go.
Make Leech a 3/4.
Yep.
He hits 2 cards. Yep. Oh my God, Tech,
Crystal,
blowing my fucking mind.
Come on. Everybody be happy. Now Crystal will get play. Leech, everybody be happy with the Leech. It'll just be awesome. The meta will just be flawless.
Holy shit.
Think about it. But yes, Lute, your take. What do you feel about this new meta?
I actually like that idea. I didn't like that idea until you brought up Crystal. But
hope you guys are listening.
Yeah,
hope you guys are listening.
That's not a bad one. But for sure. But the one that I like is the leech last a turn on reveal. It takes all the abilities for a turn because it gives you that safety valve that they were talking about. That turn 6 combo. Leech on 5 is not a problem. I do believe that. It's leech on 3 or 2 or 4 and it just messes your whole hand up. Yeah. And so I think that's the problem. It popping out with lockjaw, stuff like that is the problem. So if you have it where it leeches for a turn, and so you can shut down those turn 6 combos and stuff like that. But if it pops out on leech, it just stops at a turn. You just don't, if you played Shuri that turn, if it's turn 4, then you just skip your turn and then you can do like She-Hulk Taskmaster stuff or She-Hulk Arrow stuff. Like it's fine. But
you know what?
I think doing it for a turn is what I like the most, but hopefully they're testing a few options. We don't know how they test stuff.
We're gonna shut that down. We didn't mention
I think I agree with Lute.
I think it's wrong. I don't think we should do a turn. You know why?
I'm sorry. I agree with Ken here. Yeah.
You know what's gonna happen? We're definitely gonna get the triple leader. We're gonna get the triple leech. We're gonna get leech. Then they're gonna play absorbing man, and then they're gonna play Odin. We do not need that. I think it shouldn't be a turn. It needs to be the two cards.
I think Dara already started doing that shit like a month ago.
See what I'm talking about? Yeah.
It's just like, you got a new card? I need to hit that one too.
Yeah. You know what? At first, Lute, I was with you as one of the options, but no. You know what? Not a turn. Forget that. I pick 2 cards randomly. 100%.
And like my biggest thing is the fact that my problem with the card is hitting the whole hand.
Yes.
If I only have 2 cards, sure.
Right.
I only had 2 cards. You got both of them.
Right.
You got it. But I think more than 2 is too many.
Or the next card that you pull. I'm totally fine with that too. Because you can unleash and then play.
Interesting. That's actually not bad.
And play Maximus somehow, right? And then this way the cards that come out after you leech are all turned off. Those, when you give them that helps Maximus at that point.
If it's like one next card that you pull, then I think you make him super fucking cheap. You make him like a 2/3 at that point.
Right. Correct. So like I said, you can play in combination with Maximus, right? And that way now the next cards you pull don't work.
Make him a 1/3 like 0, like make it a Baron Mordo, right?
Yeah, yes.
Your opponent draws a card and it has no ability.
Right. That too.
Something like that.
Yeah. Yes. Force their hand and it doesn't have ability.
Like I want to be clear. I want Leech to have the ability to remove a card's ability. I think it is a perfect ability for that card, for that character. It is phenomenally in character. It's good.
Yes.
It's the fact that it is the capability to turn off 7 cards worth of abilities. That is the problem, and it's permanent, right? That is the problem.
Totally agree. That is definitely a problem. But
oh my god,
I think
Crystal can fix it all. Holy shit, man!
I'm telling you, man, that's the route they should go. I hope Second Den is listening. I hope you guys heard it. We fix Crystal right now. Give Leech that Nokia treatment and make him less, like you said, make him a 3 or a 4 cost. I mean, at that point,
I think in that regard, 3 is perfect because then you just back that up with Crystal the next turn. Oh my god.
I think it'll be awesome. And you still can do the triple leeches if you want at that point, right?
Have fun.
Right? But at least you got Crystal. You can just, I think that'd be the way to go. But yeah, other than that, what does it force us to do right now in this meta? Force us to play Red Skull Shuri, right? Force us to play Patriot decks. It forces us to play decks that we don't really want to do just to climb, right? I think we want to have a good time, and I think they need to act fast. Hopefully they do something next week or in a patch update soon. But I don't know if that's even is possible. But I think Leech needs to be handled ASAP.
When did this really emerge? This was like right around the time of the tournament, right? Like maybe a week before, I think.
Well, yeah, we could blame the champion. We could blame him. 100%.
It's definitely Harry's fault.
I mean, that is not enough time for a fix, right?
Yeah.
We're looking at like at least a month in QA for platform services in Google and Apple.
Yeah.
Before a patch hits, right? Because that's what ended up happening with Thanos. Thanos getting buffed immediately after Harry won the tournament. And it's sort of like, why'd you do that? Like he's sitting on the fucking space throne already. And it's like, well, we have to push this at a particular time, so it's just ill-timed. So in that regard, we're probably looking at the beginning of next season for a leech fix, if I had to guess, or like mid-season. If something got pushed, like a mini fix got pushed on one card, maybe mid-season. I guess it could be next week.
Hopefully they already, like, leech has been a problem for a little bit, so hopefully I think in the patch that we're going to get the next week or two, hopefully it's in there. If not, maybe they try to do something like they did with the Galactus thing, where they just like change something and the next patch they'll do a big fix or whatever.
Right. You guys think we get the leader fix in the next patch?
I hope they bring them back from the dead. But I doubt
Leader fix. Leader's done. He's in the grave.
That's the thing. I still, tinfoil hat. Let me put that back on. Like, I think they iced Leader so that they could think about it for a while.
That's true too.
Just put him in the ground, but like, only 2 feet down. That way you can dig him back up. And
so how do we fix him? How do we fix him?
I still think you make him a cheaper cost and add a stipulation that you can only activate him once.
Okay.
And then if you really want to zero out that leader, right? Or no, that doesn't even work. No, because once you zero him, he has no abilities. Yeah, no, I think you add a stipulation to his text that he can only be activated once, and that's it.
And it can't be turn 6, so we give him the magic treatment.
Right. I don't know about that. I think he's fine on turn 6. I think he's fine.
Okay.
But I think the problem started to be that like he would get squeaked out on 5 or 4 even if somebody was smart enough, and then you get the absorbing man, you get the Odin, you get the 3-turn leader, and it's just garbage. But I don't know.
Yeah, I was trying to make leader great again. I did a Kang me to your leader deck, like play Kang on 6 and then play leader after that. It doesn't work because that right lane still sucks.
The only time that I've seen leader work as of late is when a raft game happens and you get a free leader and you can play him on top of another card, and like you actually have the room to do it properly. Like most of the time it's not. Like I actually, hilarious interaction where I completely ignored a raft on the right side, and I was like, well, screw it, I don't need the right side, I'm going to play for left and middle. And of course, like, the opponent got a free leader, played their ass off in the left lane, and just copied me mid and took it in a tiebreaker because they just had all my cards. So like, he works in like the most obscure situations, but hey, so does Baron Mordo and Crystal, so does Sentry. I actually played a Sentry where there was a bar with no name on the right one time and it worked. That's
awesome. Because both names are normally in the middle or the left. That's a good call.
That's kind of going off topic, but I think Sentry is a good card. I think the problem with Sentry is not if people have the card.
I kind of agree with that. I got Sentry a week ago and I played with it a little bit, and it's like I see where this can be a good card. I'm not putting in the work.
Oh, sure.
Because I feel like it's like focus on this card for a while and you can make it work. Yeah. And I think Shade and Kawa have done some good things with that card specifically. And I think Valkyrie is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that. That's not my play style. As much as I love meme decks, that feels like work.
Yeah. Sentry breaks my game every time I play him. So I got to keep refreshing the game. So
Kane's been doing that to me, man.
Yeah, Kane did somebody else too. So it's like, I'm okay with Sentry's. I agree with you though, Lou. Sentry is a great card. Definitely, a lot of people don't have it. A lot of people didn't want to get it.
I said good. I think it's a good card, not a great.
My bad. I said corrected. Good card.
if I could segue us here for a second on the topic of broken cards, a null is not supposed to update in your hand necessarily. What? So I posted this in the breakdown. If you look in the breakdown, it's a bug with Morbius and Null because their power is being displayed in hand. So we thought all along that Null updated in hand to counteract being negative.
Negative, right.
It's a bug. Null is supposed to work in negative.
That's bad. I mean, good too. I love negatives, so I can't get mad. But
so like, I guess maybe the way that it's supposed to work is like, wait, if you were to click on the card, you could see the power.
It would show you.
Oh, okay. All right.
But
that's
like at any
case.
given time, it would always be 0. Right.
Okay.
So like in the way that like say you play a card and you click on it, and then in the top right section it gives you the power breakdown. Why
it will still do that?
Is. So like you would click on it and you like maybe in the top right you would see like, all right, null would be 17 power right now, but it is still a 6-0. And if I flip it, it would still be a 0-6. But then when I play it, I know that I'm going to add 17 power to this card.
To that 6 card.
When it's on the board because it's ongoing.
As long as it stay that way, because I did Kang someone and saw what null was going to be. I was like, great, I'm playing null. You understand? So if they remove the ability to show what it is in hand, I'll be like,
it's more just like, think of any other ongoing card, like a Ronin or a Dino, right? That card says like the power that its base power is in your hand.
That's true.
And then you play it, and because it's ongoing, it updates what it is. So like that is what it's supposed to do.
Morbius does that now?
Morbius does that now. So if you put a Morbius, like if you're holding a Morbius, you'll see. Wait, does Morbius do that now?
I thought Morbius does not display.
I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't play with this card.
It's been a long time.
So I guess it's with. I guess if Morbius is in your deck, he is updating, and if you flip him,
that's weird. I don't remember. I gotta play Morbius.
Maybe. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I put Morbius in a negative deck.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
I might have to try that at some point later tonight just to see what happens.
Yeah, intriguing. Well, guys, if you're listening to and watching it, please comment down below because I clearly don't know.
This is from both Steven and Glenn Jones, by the way.
Oh, so then it's accurate then.
Commented on a question about this. So
these changes will happen in the next 2 patches. Okay, great.
Oh, that's regarding card acquisition. That's
card acquisition.
So we should see token shop changes within the next 2 patches.
Okay, that's fantastic. Interesting. That's a bug. I really thought we were right. Null, so he doesn't get negative because null will be powerful.
Yeah,
as negative. Interesting.
Yeah, imagine just like a 0.25, a 0.45. Like he could be nasty in Galactus
because is 0 plus the 6. I mean 6 plus whatever the damage is. That's crazy. That's
crazy. And then you get to Zola, free Zola also.
Stop it.
If you flip Zola and you have null.
That's so exciting.
That's
the evil little laugh I want to hear, Loot. There you go.
That's going to be my new favorite battle mode deck when I put up Twitter code. So just know what you're getting into when you challenge me from when I put my code up on Twitter.
Go ahead and save Willow's negative Galactus Jane Foster deck now for when that gets fixed.
I have it built.
I do too.
There you go. Perfect. Speaking of stuff that Luke puts up on Twitter, did you see his survey? Oh my gosh, I guess he did. All right. I guess he did see a survey.
Lude, awesome. I would love if you shared some of this, but I understand if you don't.
So I've finished the first part of it, the first question, because anyone that doesn't know, so I'll put up a question just trying to poll, which was fantastic. I got a fantastic response from it. Well, you don't have to worry about the link. It's closed for now, but I am going to do it every season for now on at the end of the season. I'm going to give it more time. I think it was only up for a little bit over 24 hours this time, but I'm going to do it on the Friday before the Monday reset moving forward. But basically the questions were, what's your top 5 most powerful cards in Snap? We'll rank them 1 through 5. And then what card needs to be buffed? What card needs to be nerfed? And then what's the best card for each energy slot? So best 1 drop, 2 drop, 3 drop. I will tell you that I have finished the calculations, which took me probably about 6 hours in total the past couple of days to do for the first part of the top 5 cards in Snap. I will tell you that it's very clear that there are 3 winners. Like there's 3 cards that are way beyond everything else. You probably can guess it, but I'm going to make a YouTube video so you guess about it, and then you can go watch my YouTube video to find out.
Below, guys.
Sure. Yes, definitely leave a comment. But I was doing the math, and like I said, I was doing for like 4.5 hours yesterday. And I came across some very interesting answers because the way I had to do it was on Google Docs on the survey thing Google or forms. And so that you just have to write in your answer. And I'm trying, let me pull it up exactly what the one said. It was, I shared it with Val.
I love this so much.
Yes. It was very list. And then I got another one for you, Val. I did it on a video, but then I can't send it in Discord because it's too big. But so the question was, what's one card needs to be nerfed the most? I'd rather see more I'd rather see more buffs than nerfs. Not even sure if I want any nerfs. That is a valid answer.
I like that.
Like no nerfs is a valid answer.
Agreed.
Next question. What's the one card that needs buffed the most? Their answer, also a tough question. Also a tough question. So I don't. So, okay. Really confuses me with that one.
Mixed messages here, mixed signals.
I want to see more buffs than nerfs. Yeah, I don't know. I can't answer that. What? Okay.
So this one is my favorite, though. So like I said, I had a screen recorder. So list your top 5 cards in Marvel Snap 1 to 5, right? Rock Slide, Rock Slide, Rock Slide, Rock Slide, Mr. Negative.
Oh,
I think that's a fail. Should have been Darkhawk.
Or Rock.
If you're going Rock Slide, Rock Slide, Rock Slide, Rock Slide, should have been Darkhawk.
Should have been Darkhawk, yeah.
Yeah.
Then what's the one card that needs to be nerfed the most? Anything but Rock Slide, please. What's one card that needs to be buffed the most? Rock Slide.
I love it. I love it.
What's the best 1 energy cost in Marvel Snap? Cork.
Yeah, that's what.
Cork. Because it fits the theme.
I love it.
What's the best 2-drop in Marvel Snap? Half of Rock Slide. Ow. Let's see. I'm trying to get it to go down. What's the best 3 energy card in Marvel Snap? Rock Slide after Beast. What's the 4? Rock Slide. What's 5? What's the best 5-drop in Marvel Snap? Rock Slide when it gets hit by Iceman.
Okay.
And what's the best 6-drop in Marvel Snap? Rock Slide after it gets hit by Iceman and Icebox.
Listen, that person, whoever that is, we need to send them a Rock Slide customized card.
Commitment to the bit. I love it.
We need to do it ASAP. I mean, I said after he got hit with Iceman. Wow. Respect to that. I thought you were going to say Rock Slide in court, but you know what? I like that. Wow.
I also thought he was going to say 1-drop Rock.
Right.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That was awesome. That's awesome. I mean, the card I chose to get the nerfed was Uatu. 100%. Uatu needs to be nerfed.
You'll be surprised. You were not the only one.
See what I'm talking about? Love it.
I mean, it was you and one other person. But
I guess I know who the other person is. But it's all right. I could assume.
Awesome. But I was talking about I had a phenomenal response, and hopefully I'll get more next time. But I was hoping, at best case scenario, when I put this out, I was like, I hope I get 100 responses. I feel like that would be a good pool. And when I went to bed and I was like, I'm going to end this tomorrow or whatever, I went to bed, I was at 127. I'm like, fantastic, great. Woke up the next morning, went to go turn it off. I was at 257. So I got a phenomenal response from you.
That's awesome.
I hope I hope Infinite's at the top of the list for the top 6 and the top card. That's all I need to hear.
No, and see, Ken, I know you're a big football fan and stuff, and something I'm going to do with it when I list out the info is what we did before with the voting system when we did our top 10 cards, way back. Pull up that episode number. We do episode numbers, right? Yeah. But where we did where number 1 vote got 10 points and then 9 points, 8 points. I did that for the top 5 cards, and I've basically added it all up, which is very interesting. I can pull it up real fast. There was a total of 61 cards that got voted on, that got put in the top 5 list somewhere.
Out of 190 something?
Yeah, I think we're over 200 now. I think we're 202, 203, something.
Oh, yeah, that's been 2 seasons since that number, yeah.
Yeah.
Episode 5, guys. Episode 5.
Episode 5, okay.
There we go, number 5.
But yeah, it was interesting to see that 61 cards got votes. I thought that was super interesting. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to do some amateur photoshopping skills, and I'm going to do like a NCAA football top 25.
Awesome.
For each season, I think, because there is like the 25
the brackets.
It's cool. Very interesting with the rankings. But like I said, there's clearly now number one by far even blows 2 and 3 away, but 1, 2, and 3 are very close, and then there's a very large drop off. So it's going to be interesting.
Can't wait. Like when should they expect the video?
Hopefully
when it's done,
Friday at the latest. Yes. It took longer to do the data, and that's the thing too. I was hoping to get all of it done in one day. I got the first question done in 2 days, so might take a little.
That's how it be when it comes to data and videos.
Yes. See that?
Oh, also drop a comment in this video if anyone knows anything better to do than Google Forms, because the way that I have to do is I just have to all add it up by hand because it's all written in answers. So if
pretty sure we signed up for the creator program through Google Forms as well.
Yes, we did. Yeah.
That's gonna be it.
Yeah, sucks. You need something with drop downs and calculation. Yeah,
with 202 drop downs.
That's what I said. I said, Luke, if you had a place where I know what each card is, that'd be awesome. But I totally get that.
Yeah.
Wow, awesome! I can't wait for that video, guys. When it's done, it will be out. Please follow Loot Muncher on Twitter. All our socials down below. So please follow Loot Muncher. He'll tweet it out. I'm sure we'll retweet it so you guys can know. That video should be great. Can't wait to see it. Val, when are we getting another video of your storytelling?
Probably not for a while. I do have plans to revamp that at some point. I want to make Why Is Snap a YouTube short series.
Awesome.
And I'd love to just start at the beginning of series 1 and work my way through the cards. Life is a little hectic right now. We're trying to find a new place to live and stuff. As you can see, my setup is no longer my setup. As soon as possible, let's say 3 months tops, I will absolutely get started on that as soon as we get settled in our new place.
Cannot wait.
Soon.
Cannot wait, guys. And I'll be doing some cool shorts of variants. That's what I want to do now. So we'll do something cool. You guys will see that soon. That should be super fun. Can't wait to do that. And I mean, this is awesome. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about that I missed here?
I think we nailed it all.
Yeah, 100%. Wow. It was a lot. I mean, I can't listen. The game has been great. Of course, you guys know how much we love the game. This is why we're doing this podcast, right? So everything we say,
we love it, and that's why we complain.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. I'll just finish it off. Yep. So everything we say
want
is
it to
from the
be
heart.
Better.
Exactly. It's like us, talking to our family members, giving them the hard truth. Tough love, guys. Make it happen. What's the problem? You guys are better than this. Show us the data. What's wrong with you guys?
Smack around respectfully.
Respectfully.
But yeah, there's a cool tournaments coming up. Lute's in the tournament as well. That's amazing, Lute. I wish you the best. Take that out, get that championship, win that.
It's not really a tournament. It's like another showcase. The Snap Battles. It's happening Saturday. So it's
for the love of God, put some of this kind of stuff on a weekday. Oh my God. I work on the weekends, people. Come on.
Oh man, it's so true. And also, guys, I do tournaments 3 or 2 in my Discord every month. It's always a fun time. Come check it out. I know Lute's in it sometimes too.
I've played at every single one of them, and I've lost in the first round in every single one of them. So come on and join them. You can beat me in the first
special.
Round.
Hell yeah, buddy!
There you go. Yes. There you go. It's super fun. You get prizes at the end of it. We gave away battle passes. We gave away variants bundles, and we gave away something else. But that's what we do. Have a good time. It's always fun. And battle mode is great. It's fun. Fantastic. I definitely love to play you guys more in battle mode. I definitely, every time Luke posts, I try to get in there. Luke spanked me one time. I was just like, you know what? I'm not playing Luke every time. I'm gonna bypass his codes. Every time he puts it out there, somebody else plays
Luke. I was too
on Twitter.
Slow.
It's like, I don't want to see these codes anymore.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm just gonna bypass that. But it's always fun. Game is phenomenal, guys. Always thanks for hanging out with us, having a good time. We're at episode 19. You know what that means, right, guys?
We're almost able to drink.
Yeah. Next episode is 20. 20 episodes of Marvel Snapcast. That's amazing. Can't wait for that. We got to do something big. How many people can we fit into this program?
10.
10?
That's actually the number that we can have on this at
Really?
once. And I saw that as I loaded into the program. Yes.
All right, so we're gonna have to stack 10 people in here for the next episode. I think we could find 10 people.
Geez, we probably can.
I think we should.
I'm sure we can.
Guys, don't miss next episode. Episode 20 is gonna have 10 people on screen.
I'm not responsible if we only have 9.
It's gonna be a madhouse. Wow. All right, guys. Anything else you guys want to share? No,
we'll see you next week, I guess.
Yes, sir. 10 people.
10 people.
Later.
Go puke in space.
Bye.
Yes. Fun fact. Luke, let them know.
Fun fact. I don't know if this is true. I heard on a podcast, didn't fact check it or anything. But if you burp in space, you vomit. Apparently, your body can't stop it, and with no gravity or something. So if you ever go to space, don't burp.
Fancy. What if you fart? What happens?
I didn't
shit your pants. I assume if it follows the same line of logic, you just shit your pants.
All right. On that note, guys, see you guys later.